I welcome you all to today's YouTube live session, and it has been wonderful interacting with you. Though it's YouTube live, so I can see only myself on the screen and cannot see actually you all, as it happens in all other applications. Yet we are getting a tremendous response from you all, and the love and affection that you are showing to us. It's really wonderful to see, wonderful to receive, and I thank you all for this wonderful love and appreciation. And today, as already we have mentioned, in our YouTube live, the topic will be Isha Upanishad. So, in one of our sessions, we have already spoke about Upanishads actually. So, as we know that Upanishads are a part of the Vedas, which are the scriptures of the Sanatan religion, Sanatan Dharma. And it is one very important aspect of the Vedas, that whatever has been said, they have been realized and then said. These are not mere theories, not mere fantastic or fabulous ideas. All these words, each and every word which has been said in the Vedas or in the Upanishads, have been realized by the rishis and then uttered. Because the very word rishi means the seers of truth. The word rishi means seers of truth. That means they have not just formulated ideas or postulated theories about the self or Atman or anything as such. They have realized in them each and every word that they had spoken, and that came down to us. They were handed over in earlier times during the Vedic ages. They were handed over as, because there was no manuscript there, so they were handed over from the guru to the disciple orally. So as they were handed over orally, that means the guru said and the disciples, they heard it, and they, in their turn, they realized it, and then they again handed over it to their disciples. So hearing means Shruti, Shravan. So the word Shruti comes from Shravan. So the other name of Vedas, as most of you must have known by now, it is also known as Shruti, because they were handed over, or they descended down to us first in the form of hearing, that is orally, and later, as we know, that Vedavyas or Vyasdev as he is known, he wrote them down and he made the divisions, made the four divisions, the four Vedas, Rig, Sham, Yajur and Atharva, and it came to us. And Upanishad, as I am going to speak about Upanishad, though I have already said it about in one of our sessions about Upanishads, not any Upanishad in particular, but just Upanishad. So still, just to recapitulate them, that Upanishad means that coming near which or in whose association my sufferings, my pains, my agonies are gone forever. They are uprooted, not to come back again. So that coming in whose contact my ignorance, my sufferings, my pain, my agonies are gone forever is known as Upanishad. Upa means to remain in close association or to come in close proximity. So that is Upanishad. Now, coming to our topic today, and before that, coming to today's topic, I would also like to say you one thing which again I have told in the earlier session, that the Vedas are divided into 4 parts. The first is there are four class or 4 divisions: Samhita, Brahman, Aranyak, and the Upanishads. Samhita means the mantras or the incantations. Brahman means where the utilities of those mantras are said. Then comes Aranyak, where the ascetic, in order to prepare himself for a higher truth, for the ultimate truth, he retires to the forest, he goes to the forest, gives up his family life, he goes to the forest and prepares himself with austerities to hold that ultimate truth, to become eligible to know that ultimate truth. That is Aranya. And the ultimate is known as Upanishads. I told you what Upanishad means in a nutshell. And Upanishads and Vedanta are synonymous. Upanishad means Vedanta, Vedanta means Upanishads. So, but it is not that you find Upanishads or a particular Upanishad at the last portion of the Vedas. They are scattered. They are scattered, some in the Samhita, some in the Brahman, some in the Aranyak. They are scattered. So, normally, the Upanishads, you find the Upanishad portion in the Aranyak mainly, because as they return, and this what I said that they used to retire to the forest, retire and go to the forest, they retired from their family life. So it was in the ancient or in the Vedic ages, not in today's age. We don't, because we don't have jungles, we don't have forest, and we are facing the consequences, you see. So it was the process in the Vedic ages that they used to do. But now today, with the help of many good organizations, spiritual organizations, we don't have to search for Vedas or we don't have to search for Upanishads. They are printed in many languages, in Sanskrit and in any vernacular languages, in Hindi, in any languages you can get them. And with the internet, you have it in your hand, you can see it anytime, anywhere. So that's the good side of science or internet, as you say, as we are using this also for the same cause, to propagate the message of Vedanta, to propagate the message of Upanishads. So thanks to science in this respect. And so that was the procedure in the Vedic ages. They used to retire and go to the forest and prepare themselves. Going to the forest, that was known as, forest is known as Aranya, so that portion is known as the Aranya. So the Upanishads, you get the Upanishads scattered all throughout the Vedas. And most of them you find in Aranya portion, because there they discussed, they practiced this about this truth. They practiced or they uh, had these austerities and they discussed about this philosophy, the philosophical thing about truth, about life. Actually, philosophy is not the exact word of actually darshan. This is a darshan. This what we are discussing, Vedanta or Upanishad. It is it comes under one of the 6 darshans that we have in the Sanatan Dharma, and it comes under Uttar Mimamsa. That's a darshan, Shada darshan. So 6 darshans, and Uttar Mimamsa is one of them. So these Vedas and this philosophical part or the darshan part, or so to say the where this truth is being spoken about or discussed, that part you get in Uttar Mimamsa. So it's one of the 6 darshans. And why darshan? Because they saw it, as I said, that the meaning of Rishi is seers of truth. Similarly, darshan means not just grand theories formulated, which they saw, which they realized, and then they wrote. So just by this we can imagine the depthness or the gravity of the subject, that each and every word which have been spoken or which have been written down later on have been realized by the rishis, not just mere words. So it's known as darshan, Vedanta darshan. So now coming to the Upanishad, Isha Upanishad. So there are 108 Upanishads in total, the major and minor ones, including all this. There are 108. And among these 108, 10 are said to be the major Upanishads, because Adi Shankaracharya wrote commentaries on these 10 Upanishads. But actually, Adi Shankaracharya wrote commentaries on 12 Upanishads. 2 are not being considered. However, there is one which is Setashvetar Upanishad, which some consider as the major Upanishad, some do not. So if you do not take Shvetashvetar Upanishad, it is 10. If you take it, it's 11. So, but normally the major opinion is that it's 10. Okay. So as I said, that this Upanishad, you find it scattered throughout the Vedas. But this Upanishad, which is the very topic of today's session, Isha Upanishad, it is the only Upanishad which you find in the Samhita. And that is why it is also known as the Samhita Upanishad. Isha Upanishad or Isha Upanishad. It is also known as Isha Vashya Upanishad because of the first 2 words that the very first verse contain, that is Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Gunjitha Ma Gridha Kashasvedha. So the very first 2 words are Isha Vasya, Isha Vasyamidam. So the first 2 words, Isha Vasya, so these have been taken and it is also known as Isha Vasya Upanishad. So Isha Upanishad, Isha Vasya Upanishad, and as it is the only one which you will find in the Samhita, so this is also known as the Samhita Upanishad. And it comes, every Upanishad comes under the Vedas. There are 4 Vedas we know: Rig, Sham, Yajur and Atharva. So all the 108 Upanishads that we have, they come under either of the, any of the 4, you know. So Isha Upanishad comes under Shukla Yajur Ved. So in Yajur Ved, there are 2 parts. One is the Krishna Yajur Ved and one is the Shukla Yajur Ved. So Isha Upanishad comes under Shukla Yajur Ved. And of the many characters that we find in the Upanishads, one prime character we also find, though nobody is prime here, everyone's realizations are being written down, as I said later on, by Vyasadeva. So there is no one single person, and that is why it is also known as Apaurusheya, not being told by any person, because realizations are universal always. So still, however, one character comes up very much in this Yajur Ved, and that is Yagyavalka. Many of us have most probably heard about Yagyavalka, the Rishi, who was very famous during that time because of his wisdom, you know, because of his knowledge about the truth, about the Supreme. And he discussed about the Supreme at length in the courtroom of Janak with Gargi, with many others, you know. So there are elucidated and elaborated discussions on these in the Upanishads. When you go to the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there you get it. So this Upanishad is also known, or it comes, as I told you, under the Samhita. So that is why it is also known as the Samhita Upanishad, and it comes under the Vajasneya Samhita. What is Vajasneya Samhita? Vajasneya is the other name of Yagyavalka. So Rishi Yagyavalka was also known as Vajasneya. So this Upanishad, Isha Upanishad, it comes under Shukla Yajurved Vajasneya Samhita. Vajasneya Samhita. Vajasneya was the name of Yagyavalka. And this Upanishad has a very beautiful aspect, you know, that it opens up with a very beautiful slok, with a very beautiful verse. Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bhunjitha Ma Gridha Kashasvita. I will be later on coming to the explanation of this. So this is one which has been said about the Supreme and how to realize in what way, means how to feel it, how to realize it. And after this, it opens with the Supreme thing, about the Supreme Truth. And then later on it goes to speak about the Upasana and the Karma, the actions. So in this Upanishad, single Upanishad, you find the ultimate truth. It is being spoken about, or it is being discussed. Then you find about Upasana, worships, and then about Karma, action. So it is also unique in this sense. So from the opening, in the very first, as I said, it comes up with the unification of the Brahman with the self, and to realize Brahman in not just as myself but in each and every being of the universe, just not in each and every being but in each and every particle of the universe. So, the first verse gives us the beautiful realization of the self. It speaks about the beautiful realization of the self. To see or to realize the Supreme Self not just as myself, that I am, this individual self is one with the Supreme, not just as this, but to see the entire universe as the self. And later on, in the second verse, we find the karma, how to lead a life. A man or the ascetic or the aspirant who wishes to live a long life, how will he live or lead this life? Doing the activities as being conjoined by the scriptures, as being said by the scriptures, how he is going to live his life amidst action. And then from the in between, from the third mantra, it has been said that without self-realization, we cannot avoid death. Without having the realization of the Supreme Self, one cannot avoid death. And from the 4th to the 8th verse, in this just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in this 5 verse, these 5 verses beautifully explain about the self, how it is, the nature of the self. So, as we say, the Brahma Tattva, the essence of Brahman or the essence of Atman is being discussed in these 5 verses from 4th to 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 5 verses speaks about the essence of Brahman or Atman. And from the 9th to the 18th verse, it again speaks about action, about karma. And it says, we will see that these karmas are just opposite or in contradictory. They are contradictory to self-realization. So there are actually 18 verses or 18 slokas in this Upanishad, and as it contains just 18 slokas, so it is one of the Upanishad which is small in volume, not in essence but in volume. Like we will be discussing maybe in some session about the Mandukya Upanishad. So there also you will see that it's also a very small Upanishad, though the essence is profound. So this is also a small Upanishad where it just consists of 18 verses. So the first verse opens with the beautiful essence of self-realization, about speaking about the Brahman and how to realize it, how to see it. The second one going to speak about the action, how one has to lead a life, living a long life with actions, because without action one cannot live even for a minute. And we know it from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where this karma yoga has been elaborately discussed, in the third chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in particular, about the karma yoga, that no one can live for a minute without any action. So an aspirant willing to have a long life, how he should lead a life amidst action without getting attached to it, having a detachment so that he is not bonded even while doing action. That has been said in the second sloka of the second verse. And the third verse, as I said, that it says that without self-realization you cannot cross the barriers of death. And from the 4th to the 8th, these 5 verses, they consist the essence of Brahman or Atman, and from the 9th to 18th, it consists of actions which are in contradiction to self-realization. So these are the broad classifications of these 18 shlokas, 18 verses. Now to begin with, as we know that every Upanishad begins with a Shanti part. What is it? These are beautiful shlokas, because Upanishad, as I said, it is a subject which we discuss so to uproot my sufferings, my ignorance, my pain, my agonies, everything. It uproots. So it is for my salvation, for my liberation. But then what for this world? It has been beautifully said in the scriptures, Atmana mokshartham jagat hitaya. That means salvation of the self and well-being of the universe. So one may just feel, at times that only speaking about myself, my salvation, my sufferings, means it seems like selfish, but it says no, it's not the full thing, that Atmana mokshartham. My salvation is just one part, it's not the full. To become the full, you have to take the second part also. What is it? Jagat hitaya cha, welfare of the universe. And it is for this welfare of the universe that this Shanti part, which every Upanishad begins with and ends with. The same shloka is, you will find also at the end of the Upanishad. So, what is it? It is a prayer which is meant for the peace of the entire universe. So, you see, the rishis, the munis, they were so broad-minded. Means we speak of global things now, things going global, and Vedanta has been a global subject from the very outset, because it speaks of the unification of the individual self with the Supreme Self. So it's already, the subject in itself is universal. So these global things, they were thousands of years back, and they were discussed. And these prayers, they were not just meant for any particular religion or any particular sect or caste or creed or nation. It was for the whole of humanity, and not just humanity, the whole of the universe. So, as every Upanishad begins with a Shanti Path or a prayer for peace and ends with a Shanti Path, Isha Upanishad is not an exception. So, the Shanti Path for Isha Upanishad is Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. What does it mean? Om. Om means it's the other name of Brahman, the symbol of Brahman. We have seen Om, in temples or in other places. You can find in the net also nowadays. You get everything in the internet. So the Om means Brahman. So Om, and this Om, the very word Om, it has three parts. A-U-Ma. Om, it's actually pronounced in this way, right from your navel coming out. And it has three things. A, U and M. Om. In Sanskrit it is said A, U and Ma. And that together is pronounced as Om. And this Om has been beautifully described in the Mandukya Upanishad, that this Brahman has been imagined as Chatuspada, four stages or states. So A, U, Ma are the first three states. So that we will be going later on. Just we have to remember now that Om signifies Brahman. So Om Purnamada. Purna means that which is infinite. Ada means that, the supreme. That is infinite. That means the supreme Brahman, which is supreme, is infinite. Purnamada. Purnamidam. Idam means this. This means this phenomenal world that we see. How is it? Purna. Purnam idam. So, Brahman is infinite, and this world, this universe that we see, the phenomenal world that we see, this is also infinite. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Brahman, the Supreme Self, is infinite. This phenomenal world, this universe, it is also infinite. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat. Purnat means from Purna, from that infinite. Purnam Udachyate. Comes out or proceeds or originates this Purna. That means this phenomenal universe, it proceeds from that Supreme Brahman, from that Supreme, the Brahman. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. What does the second line mean? That when we take this phenomenal world, when we realize it, then what happens if this universe at the end of this creation, that means when there is what we say as destruction. In Vedanta, actually, there is nothing as destruction. It is just a projection, or you may say, it is being projected and it again comes back. It springs up and it comes back. This springing up is known as creation, and going back is known as destruction. Evolution and involution. Evolution, when we see the world, that's evolution. And when it goes back to its origin, to its source, that is known as involution. So, when there is this involution, taking this phenomenal universe, what remains is infinite. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam eva avashishyate. What remains after this phenomenal world is taken, what remains is infinite. That means never was there finiteness, or never was there any imperfection, as said by Swami Vivekananda very beautifully, that the perfect never becomes imperfect. Brahman is infinite, and not just Brahman, this universe is also infinite. This phenomenal universe, it originates or it proceeds from that Supreme, that Brahman, which is infinite. And when it goes back, when there is this involution, or at the end, or when there is this destruction, what remains is infinite. So the infinite can never become finite in that way. That is the Shanti part, and it ends with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That means it is being pronounced or uttered 3 times. Why thrice? Because there are said to be 3 types of hindrances or impediments. What are they? The first is Adi Daivik. Adi Daivik means that which is created by nature, like flood, earthquake. These are the natural calamities from which we suffer. If there is flood, we suffer. If there is a drought, we suffer. If there is an earthquake or a volcano, we suffer. So, this is known as Adi Daivik. Then, Adi Bhautik. Bhautik means Bhuta, that which is done by Bhuta. Bhuta means being, living being, living species. Like suddenly, someone is eaten or injured by a lion or a tiger, or suddenly someone is bit by a snake, or by a dog, or by some animals. These are known as Adi Bhautik. those sufferings which are done by the living species, Adi Bhautik. And then the last is Adhyatmic, spiritual, that is the body and the mind. If my body is not good, I cannot sit for meditation, I cannot contemplate on what I hear, I cannot think about Vedanta. So that is an hindrance. If my mind is not good, my mind is very much upset, I cannot, concentrate my mind on meditation or in anything, in any spiritual practice. So that's an hindrance. So the physical and mental sufferings, they are known as Adhyatmic. So Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik and Adhyatmic. These three types of sufferings. So may we attain peace from these three kinds of sufferings. May they not put any hindrance, or may they not be any obstruction in our path. So it has been said thrice, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now begins the first verse of the Upanishad, Isha Upanishad. What is said? Isavasyamidam. Idam means this phenomenal world, whatever we see. Isha means the supreme. See this whole universe, the living, the non-living, each and everything, whatever we see, whatever is there, whatever we can see, whatever there is, see it as being enveloped by the Supreme. Isha Vasyamidam. Sarvam. Everything. There is no discrimination whatsoever at the very outset. Living, non-living, good, bad, nothing. Sarvam. Everything, whatever is there, see it as being enveloped by the Supreme. Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat. And everything of this Jagat, this universe, Yat Kincha, everything, every bit of it, see it or think it as being enveloped by the Supreme. So, this is the beauty of Sanatan Dharma, that it enables us, or it teaches us to see divinity in everything, in each and every object of this universe, in each and every particle of this universe. That is the beauty. Normally we have a conception, that whatever is good, whatever is beautiful, whatever is very nice and very beautiful, they represent God, or they represent divinity. What we understand by divinity, that which is good, that which is beautiful, that which is majestic. That is our concept of divine or divinity. But then there remains a discrimination. That which is not good, that which is not beautiful, that which is not majestic, that which is not grand, where will it go? Where will they go? Because I am just rejecting them. When I am telling that everything, whatever is beautiful is godly or divine, then what does the others which are not beautiful, where do they go? Where do they find place? So Vedanta means acceptance. Vedanta means accepting everyone as my own, and not even as my own. When I go deeply into it, accepting everyone as me, as myself. And that is why it has been said, Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat. There is no discrimination whatsoever. Sarvam, good, bad, ugly, everything is divine. And that is one of the very important teachings of Vedanta Upanishads. That everything is divine, every particle is divine. Not only the good, the bad, it is also divine. Not only the beautiful, the so-called ugly, it is also divine. Everything is divine. Not only virtue, the vice or the evil, what we say or know as evil, that is also divine. Everything is divine. In its nature, everything is divine. Because if we reject the divinity, or if we say that no, it is not divine, then there must be two existences, one divinity and one just the opposite. And that is in contradictory what Vedanta says, that only Brahman exists. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. There is only Brahman. Whatever we see, whatever we feel, whatever is there in this entire universe or beyond this is only Brahman and nothing else. So we cannot say that is not Brahman. We cannot say that is not divine. Then now when we go to a bit lower state of mind, what we say, there the manifestation of divinity is less. As Bhagavad beautifully says, that there is nothing known as darkness. What we know as darkness is actually less light. You don't have absolute darkness. Now if suddenly there is a power cut and everything goes dark, I'll say everything has become dark. But after a few seconds I will say, no, I can see something in the dark even. So that is not fully dark. The same thing goes, how much we can take away the light, but still there is not darkness, there is less light. Similarly, whatever we say as evil or not good or vice or whatever wrongs, there are not two existences, the same existence, but there the manifestation of the divinity is less. That's it. But when we can elevate ourselves to the higher state, then I see that even manifestation, if I say there the manifestation is less and in this the manifestation is higher, then again we have to accept two existence, one higher manifestation, one lower manifestation. But in reality, there is only one existence, and that is Brahman. So there is no discrimination whatsoever, and this is the beauty of Upanishads, that don't just see the divine in the good, see it, begin with the good, of course, but see it in the bad too. Don't just see divine in beauty, see divinity in the ugly also, so-called ugly. Try to see divinity in each and everything. Why? It's not an imposition. As it has been said, that think of this entire universe as being enveloped by the Supreme. It's not an imposition. Why not an imposition? Because it is the truth. Because everything is divine. Because everything is Brahman itself. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So, it's not an imposition. It's the reality. That it is not just enveloped by the Supreme, it is the Supreme itself. So that is the beauty of Upanishads or Vedanta, that it gradually expands our vision, It gradually, right now, what we have, our vision is like, in India we have the horse pulling cart, tanga we say. So they are the horses which pulls the cart, the tanga. They are given a mask-like thing, just like this, so that they can just see straight and nowhere else. So our vision is like one, persons, those who have glaucoma, they lose their sight. They can see just straight. As we can see this side of that side, they cannot see. Their visions are restricted. They can just see in a straight line. So all of us have glaucoma. The only difference is that the one who is infected or who is affected by glaucoma, he has the sight only, his vision as glaucoma, it's in his eyes, in his retina, and here with us the glaucoma is in our mind. We can just see straight, nothing else. Me and mine, nothing else. And Vedanta says just the opposite. What does it do? It just takes away the mask. It expands our vision. And then, if I see me, I see myself in each and every one. Or I see the Supreme. Same thing. When I see myself, my real self in each and every one, and seeing the Supreme in each and every one, it is the same. So that is the beauty of Vedanta, that not only just good, Brahman is everything, whatever we say. The good, bad, these are all our, we have manufactured this. The good, bad, everything is manufactured by us. And why? Because we have that single narrow vision. Vedanta expands our vision. So, and in one of the Upanishads, Shvetashvatara Upanishad, there is a very beautiful sloka which says this about the Brahman being in everything, everywhere. That Tvam Stri, Tvam Pumanasi, Tvam Kumara, Utava Kumari, Tvam Jirno Dandena Vanchasi, Tvam Jato Bhavasi Vishwatamukha. That thou art everything. Tvam Stri, thou art the woman. Tvam Pumanasi, thou art the man. Tvam Kumara, you are the young boy, the youth. Utava Kumari, or you are the young girl. Tvam Jirna Dandena Vanchasi, you art the one old man tottering with his stick. Tvam Jata Bhavasi Vishwatamukha, you are the one who is just newly born. So it is you everywhere. The same truth has been told in the entire Upanishads, time and again, in different ways, in different forms, the same truth, because truth cannot be many. Truth is one. Truth is one. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vatanti. The truth is one. Sages describe it in many ways, but the truth is one. So, the first verse of Isha Upanishad is this beautiful verse about the Supreme and how to see it in each and every being, in each and everything as being enveloped. Each and everything being enveloped by the Supreme. So what happens? This whole universe becomes so beautiful to me. I love someone, or suppose I'm very fond of birds, or maybe I'm very fond of plants, or birds. I feed birds every day, take some grains and throw it in my terrace. On my terrace, the birds come and they, eat those grains, or maybe the beautiful flower that blooms in my garden. I'm fond of that. So it's already beautiful. But if I can see it as God, or those pigeons or those birds which are coming on the terrace and taking the particles of grains, if I can see the Supreme in them, then the whole world will transform. That is the beauty of the Upanishads. Transformation. Transforming my vision. That is why I say it is known as darshan. It empowers us with the vision to see the whole world, the whole universe as divine. That's the beauty. So that is the first verse of Isha Upanishad. Isha vasyamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tena bhunjitha mag vidha kasvasidhanam. Then tena bhunjitha, the second line. What is it? Tena bhunjitha. Protect yourself by renunciation. Now, this is a thing which is very hard to understand in this, especially in this modern era. But I think now we are able to understand a bit because of this coronavirus thing and all those pandemics, that if we just think about our own, we are not going to survive for long. And if we are going to survive, then we have to survive in this way, putting the mask on our face, having a face shield, and looking in having a peculiar look. We don't want these things. We want this normal face of ours. We don't want to put a mask. We don't want a face shield. But we have to, if we do not renunciate, and renunciation does not mean giving up my family life, giving up my house and my duties and whatever I have. Renunciation is that actually. To see everything divine, that means to give up my ignorance, is the real renunciation. And when I can give up my ignorance, when I can have that real renunciation, then I can enjoy the world in the real way. Because how will this world, full of diversity, full of unevenness, full of crisscross things, full of contradictions, how will it become? When I can give up my ignorance and I can see the whole universe being enveloped by the Supreme, it will transform into a divine thing. That is renunciation, the real renunciation. So what it is said, protect yourself by renunciation, because ignorance kills myself. This is the difference between how we think and how a self-realized person, or a Mahapurusha as we say, they think. Once a person went to Raman Maharshi, who lived in the south of India, Arunachalam, where he has a very beautiful ashram. So he said that, as we do know, when on special occasions we go to meet some saintly persons or some uh, elevated souls, Mahapurusha, and we offer our salutations and ask blessings from them. So this person also, this devotee also went to Raman Maharshi and he just offered his salutations and said that today is my birthday, please bless me. But Raman Maharshi, he was out and out a Vedanti, not a very strict Vedanti. So he said, your birthday, you are not even born, how can this be your birthday? And he was just taken aback. He was like middle-aged. So he thought, I am not being born till now. He said that till you know yourself, you are not born. You are born the day you know yourself, that I am the ever pure, divine, deathless, ceaseless Brahma. That day you are born. So, if I am not born, that means, what do I do? This ignorance of mine, which sees unevenness, which does not see divinity in each and everything, this ignorance, which sees diversities, which sees many, this ignorance kills myself. So it says, protect yourself by renunciation. What renunciation actually? Giving up ignorance. That is the renunciation. And by that renunciation, my self can be saved. Actually, the self can never be killed, but still it is being said so to make us understand. So, tena taktena bhunjita. And there is also another thing, that actually without renunciation we cannot live. We cannot have a healthy life without renunciation. As I said, in the present day world, in the modern day world, it's very hard to understand because we are just very, very busy thinking about our own. But it's like a house. Whenever we build a house, when I build my house, what do I see? That the air must come fresh from the front, and then if the air comes in by the door or the windows, it's not enough. My house must also have a good ventilation so that the air which comes, it can again go. Because if the fresh air comes and stays within the rooms, it will get intoxicated. It will no more be pure. It has to go. And again fresh air has to come. And again it has to go. Similarly, if we are just busy in our gratification, self-gratification, fulfilling the need of my body, my mind, and my everything, I cannot stay healthy. I need a ventilation. And that ventilation is giving up. Give to others. Share. Because without giving, without sharing, you can never be healthy. Know it for certain. The day we just go against it and think, no, if I give up, if I share, then my things will, it will come down or it will decrease, and it's better to keep for me, myself and my family only, and not to give others, not to share with others. Know it for certain and sure that your bad times have begun. It's very true. We are facing it. The whole world is facing this. So, tena tyaktena bhunjita ma gridha kashvasita. Do not covet the wealth of others. Do not be jealous of others' wealth or property. Because I become sad normally. What happens with us modern men, persons or human beings of the modern era, that I am not so much depressed or sad by my sorrows as I am depressed or sad by the happiness of my neighbors. I don't have a building, that's not my worry or that's not my cause of sorrow. My cause of sorrow is that my neighbor is constructing a 3-story building. So that becomes the cause of worry, that becomes the cause of sorrow for myself. We must not be so stupid. This is stupidity. Killing my own happiness with my hands, strangling my own peace with my hands. And that is why our rishis have said, do not covet the wealth of others, do not envy, do not be jealous of others, seeing their wealth, seeing their property, because nothing remains. Whose is the property? Today it is his, but he or she is not going to take it away with him or her. We know this, we say it, but we don't follow it ourselves. So we must not be so stupid. So to strangle our own happiness, our own peace with our hands. Let us become intelligent in that aspect, that I save my peace, I save or protect my happiness, and I see the Supreme in each and every particle of the universe. Thank you today, because it's almost 5 minutes over 1 hour. So thank you everyone for being with us in this wonderful session. Upanishads are a hard thing, but yes, if heard time and again, and in the company of the holy person, they become easier to comprehend. As for myself, I can tell, I have not read so much as of myself what I have heard from my master, my Guru, Bhagavan. So that is why it is also known as the Guru Mukhi Vidya, the knowledge which comes from the Guru. So I thank you all to be with us today here in this beautiful session, and for allowing us to share our ideas with you all. Have a wonderful time, and please do not forget to put your comments, your feedbacks, so that we may understand you better. And if there are any questions, you may please put them in the comment section so that we can take them as the topic in one of our sessions. Thank you once again. Thank you all.